Hello and welcome to the Galad Knitting Circle. My name is Jana and I'm coming to you from a little town called Göttingen in Germany. Yes, this is my little corner on the internet where I talk about my knitting, all my projects. Yes, thank you for being here. I hope you have a nice project to work on. And yeah, let's talk knitting. So let's start with what I'm wearing. This is a finished object of mine. It is the Summer Secret Crop by Jessie from Jessie Maed Designs. And yeah, I showed this in some episodes before already when I was still working on it, but now I've finished it and I'm quite happy with it. It's really comfortable to wear. And for summer it's just really perfect. I knit this in a 100% viscose yarn, and yeah, this is a yarn that I dyed myself in this nice blue. So a few episodes back there's where I talk about all my very first yarn dyeing experiences, and so if you're interested you can have a look there. So yeah, this was my very first experience with dyeing my own yarn, and yeah, it's like I'm not an expert in this at all. I don't really know anything about it. I just started with it and yeah, had a look what happened, and well, this is what happened. And I'm quite happy with the color, although it's not really what I planned, but it doesn't really matter, right? And so yeah, there's one thing about this project which I thought was really weird, that I don't know if you can see it, but the columns of the stitches, they go diagonally like this, and I was really confused about this. I shared that in my last episode, and then but a very kind viewer commented that this might be because of the high twist in the yarn, and because it's a single ply, and yeah, so that's why it might do some funny things in the stitches, but yeah, I don't really mind it, it's okay. So yeah, it has these straps in the back, and then they cross in the back, which I quite like. And yeah, this is what I'm wearing. Well, I wear here something else, a finished object. This is a linen skirt that I knit myself. So I was watching the Merry Weather knitting podcast, and there she was sharing just about her very first sewing experience, and I thought it was so cool and it looked really fun, so I was like, yeah, why not do some sewing myself. Well, I didn't do any research as always, and I also didn't use a pattern or anything. I just had this linen fabric, and I took another skirt of mine and just placed it on the fabric and cut around it, and then I just sewed it together. So it's really not perfect at all. It's really not how I think it, like I don't think this is like how sewing is supposed to be. But it was fun and it kind of worked, like it fits me really well. The inside looks awful. The seams are really quite a mess, but I don't really mind, because one can tell, but it's not so obvious. And well, I think it's also, it gives it a bit of a charm, just because it is a hand sewn skirt, and yeah, I think it's okay if it also looks a bit handmade. So yeah, I was also then sewing a dress. It's also not perfect at all. I did the same thing. I just placed a dress of mine onto the fabric and cut around it. And this is even worse. The seams here is really quite bad. I better don't show it, but yes, I don't really mind it. And yeah, I think it's nice also now for summer to have also like some sewn projects, because yeah, this linen fabric is just really nice for summer. And I always wanted to have like a linen skirt or linen dress, but to buy them is just really expensive and I couldn't really afford that. So no, this is what I did and I'm quite happy with it. So now I have both, and I didn't spend so much money on it. I got this fabric from Etsy and I think 1 meter was like 13 euros, so I thought I was okay. So I'm quite happy with that experience. Yes. And then another thing I'm wearing, this is, I don't know if you can see, it's a necklace. I made it myself too. It's made from power shell, which is a shell that you find in New Zealand. It's a very beautiful shell. It has this shiny blue inside. And I was making a lot of jewelry with that. And I was also selling it there on some markets. And I'm also selling it in my Etsy shop, in case you're interested. So yes, that's all the things I'm wearing. And now let's talk about my other knitting projects. Well, there's one more finished object, which is the Dulce de Leche socks by Radchenko. And well, I gifted these already because last Sunday it was Mother's Day here, so I gave them to my mum. And yeah, I think they're really nice. They turned out really nice. The pattern is lovely. I'm not so happy with my yarn choice because for the main color I chose quite a variegated yarn, also a hand-dyed yarn, which I dyed myself. So, and because it's all over colorwork sock, the colorwork doesn't show so good in the end, because it just has these white specks in it. And but yeah, otherwise it's a really nice pattern and they fit really well. And yeah, so that was a nice project. And yeah, so these were my finished objects. I do have kind of a half finished object because I casted on some mitts, again by Nina Pommerenke, and this is the Lucky Lady mitt. This is the first one. This is the back, and well, if you've watched my previous episodes, you saw that I really enjoy those mitts by Nina Pommerenke. She's called A Crafter's Tale on YouTube and on Instagram, and she has a nice podcast too. And yeah, she has these kind of mitts with all kind of animals on it really. So there's one with the fox, which I knit already I think 2 times. And then I made the bee, but then she also has now a rabbit and an owl, and now she has also this version with the ladybug, and I really like them. I'm making them for my grandma for her birthday, which is tomorrow. So this is the second one. I'm just yeah, so it has this nice color work here on the bottom, and then the ladybugs just in the main color and the black, and here is gonna be the thumb, and then I did the duplicate stitch in the end to put the red inside. So yeah, hopefully soon I'm gonna finish this one. Well, actually I have to finish it tonight so that I can still block it before I give them to my grandma tomorrow. But yeah, these I really love. I'm knitting them in some sock yarn by Lana Grossa. This is what it looks like. It is just a basic sock yarn, 80% wool and 20% polyamide. I don't know if you can see. But yeah, this is quite a nice sock yarn actually, because I think it's much softer than the normal sock yarn. And yeah, so I'm quite happy that there's going to be a lot left, and then I can make some socks with this too. Yeah, so that's one project. Well, actually then on Saturday there's also another birthday of a friend of mine, and I was thinking that I would love to gift her the Cyanach mitts, which is the other mitt pattern by Nina Pommerenke with the fox on it. And so yeah, tomorrow is Thursday, and then I still have 2 days when I have to knit these mitts for her. But yeah, they go quite quick. Like, yeah, I think I need 2 days to knit a pair. Well, if I have time to knit. But I guess I should have time to knit these next coming days. So yeah, that's what I'm up to here in terms of gift knitting. So let's maybe do some summer knitting, which I'm right in the middle of. And well, this was one. Because I shared on my last podcast that I'm doing a bit of an experiment with different plant-based fibers, because I've never done any knitting with plant-based fibers before. It was always just wool for me. So then this summer I started to get really into this, mainly because of the We Grow Wild YouTube channel. There's Martina with her Wild Knitting podcast, and she does a lot with plant-based fibers, and I thought it was really interesting, and I really wanted to learn more about it. So that's why I chose this viscose yarn here, and I do have now 3 more projects that also use plant-based fiber, and yeah, I find this really interesting. So, well, actually one project, I showed it many times before, is kind of on hold now because I ran out of yarn. I mean, not quite yet, but I will run out soon. But the shop where I got this yarn doesn't have this color anymore, and it's not really a yarn shop. It's just like a shop where you can get all kind of things, and I don't have this yarn anymore. So yeah, that's why I just left it now and didn't really know what to do. This is what it looks like. So I still don't know how to pronounce it. It's the Argil Tank by Clare, Lakewood. And I started here doing the back, then I made these straps, and here onto the front I put these front stitches on hold, and now I picked up stitches from the side here, and now I would be knitting from both sides across the front. But yeah, I don't really have the yarn anymore. This is 100% organic cotton, and yeah, for now I think I just leave it and then see what happens. Well, what I was thinking is I could undo these rows where I picked them up and then do a different color in front, but I'm not so sure if I like that. So yeah, this for now it just waits until I know what to do with it. So this was 100% cotton, And also to compare this with the viscose is really interesting, because the cotton is a lot softer, but I also feel like it doesn't hold its shape so well. And yeah, so I'm just trying out different plant-based yarns, and yeah, to find out maybe in the end which one is my favorite one to use. And yeah, so there's 2 more new cast-ons with summer tops, also in plant-based yarn. What I'm just knitting here, it's the Cala Galdana by Heather and Hobbs. This is the front piece. It's all, well, actually you're supposed to put the needles on hold on a stitch holder or something, but I just left them all on the same cord, because here is the 2 back pieces. I'm just knitting on this one now, and so it's gonna be like this. So this is the front and this is the back, and then I'm gonna join those 3 pieces in the round, and then I'm gonna knit the body, and there's gonna be some texture and some lace, and I think it's gonna look really beautiful. And so this is a very interesting yarn. I think it's really beautiful. It's the Linea Pura by Lana Grossa, and this is what the label looks like. I don't know if you can see that, but this is 50% linen, 33% silk and 17% cotton. So this is a whole new blend to me, and I think it just feels really, really nice. Yeah, it has this linen feeling to it, which I really enjoy, but then it's not too stiff, because it also has this kind of drapiness from the silk and a bit of a softness from the cotton, and then it has these really beautiful fades in it. It just goes from one color to another. So, well, one thing that I was thinking is, because now the back is whole different colors, right? Because here you see it stopped here with this color, and this is where I started the one back piece, and then it just went onto this piece. So it's very different colors now. So I was thinking I should have just started and then take some of the yarn off until I'm at the same color again, so that it always starts with the same color up here. But yeah, I think it doesn't really matter, because in the front you're not gonna see the back anyways. So it's gonna have here, it's gonna have a braid around the neck, and because here it's like a little tube in here, so that's where the braid is gonna go, and like a drawstring, and then it's gonna be all on that string, and that's gonna go around the neck. So yeah, very happy with this so far, and looking forward to doing some progress on it. And yeah, I just really love this yarn. I think this is very close to being my new favorite plant-based yarn. And well, I do have to buy another skein. There's not so much left anymore. I just saw this in the shop, in the yarn shop, and I thought it was so beautiful. So I got a skein, but I didn't really know yet what to do. So that I only decided later. And yeah, so for this I need 2 skeins. I thought, yeah, I can just make something up with 1 skein, but I will need another one. So yeah, very happy with this, and hopefully I can show you in the next episode how it turns out. I'm also quite curious about the lace section, how that's gonna go on that yarn. But yes, that's that. And then there's a second summer top in a new yarn, to me new. So oh, it's all a mess. It's all a mess. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but my face is really red because on the weekend I was just sitting all day in the sun and knitting, and I did get quite a bit of a sunburn. So I hope you don't mind seeing that red face of mine. So there's not much to see yet. This is the Ballerina wrap top by Alexandra Tavel from 2 of 1s. And this is a really nice wrap top. And yeah, it's very difficult to show. But basically this is just some raglan increases that I'm doing there. And yeah, so then it's just gonna go down here and it's gonna be wrapped around, and all in this really nice yarn. Well, this is actually also really likely to be my new favorite yarn. I don't know if I have the label in here, but I do have another skein here. So it's the Landlust Sommerseide, which basically means summer silk. And this is also a blend. Where is it? It's 50% silk and 50% cotton. So well, I think this is also has a really nice texture and like a really nice feel to it, because it is very drapey, but yeah, it also has this nice softness from the cotton. And maybe you can see all this, I'm not sure if you can see, but there's these different colors in it. It's like this grey and a bit of a blue. So yeah, also really happy with this yarn, and I'm looking forward to how it's gonna be to knit this up further. Yeah, so these were my summer knits. Then I do have 2 more winter knits. So there was a bit of an issue because I ran out of space on the SD card, and now this one is really different because it's setting now. So sorry about that. But I was gonna talk about 2 projects that are not so much summer related, it's more of a wintry knit. And it's for one, well, the very beginning of some socks. And these are gonna be some nice rainbow socks. I'm knitting them in this yarn, which I think is really beautiful. It's the Crazy Zauberball by Schappe. Not sure. Well, this is what the label looks like. And yeah, this is, here it shows the fade, how it's gonna look like. Don't know if you can see it. But yeah, this is just a nice sock yarn. Does it say? So it's 75% wool and 25% nylon. And yeah, so I think these are gonna be some nice socks. Just some basic socks without any pattern. Just yeah, the normal recipe that I use. And then I showed you last episode that I was making this hat. That's what it looks like. So this is holding together. This is a hand-dyed yarn. It's like a fingering weight. It's 100% merino, and then I'm holding it together with this silk mohair in this nice rust color, and it's creating this really nice fabric which I really enjoy. But what I'm gonna make is these kind of cowls that you can also use as a hat. I have here an example which my friend made. So it's also like this. It's just a tube, right? It's just a tube, and then here it has a cord in it, like a drawstring, and then you can just pull it together, and then you have a hat. So you can wear it as a hat, just like this, or you can open it and then wear it like a cowl, just like this. And I think it's really handy. I think it's such a cool idea. So that's what this is going to be too. So it's just going to be a tube, and then it's going to get a cord in the end. And yeah, that's what this is about. So those were all my projects. Yeah, thank you for sticking around. I hope you maybe got some inspiration, maybe not, but yeah, feel free to share what you're knitting on. Yeah, what projects you're working on at the moment. Yeah, because it would just be nice to create this little space to inspire each other, rather than me just talking about my knitting. So yeah, I hope you're well. I hope you're taking care of yourself, and well, I also hope that you are finding some joy in your knitting and some inspiration. So yeah, we will see each other in the next episode, and until that, take care and keep knitting. Bye.